Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to share with you an update on my this week day trading Forex, focusing primarily on day trading pound dollar. And to be honest, it has been a pretty rubbish week for me this week in quite a few areas of my life, not just trading. My little one has been teething. I've had very little sleep this week. It's been tough, and trading the markets this week, pound dollar especially, has been incredibly choppy. It's been a difficult week. And I'm going to share with you all the trades I've taken this week. They're not pretty, and the emphasis on this video is going to be looking at trading psychology, looking at some tips and tricks that will help you to avoid making the same mistakes that I've made this week trading Forex. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Emily, and on Mindfully Trading I share my journey as I grow and develop as a Forex trader. I've been trading for over 5 years now. I day trade in my live account with Vantage Markets, and I also day trade in my prop trading account with the prop firm, the 5%ers. I've got some more information on a separate video if you want some more info on a prop firm, and I'll talk about them a little bit later in this video. But as you can probably guess, it's been a red week for me this week. In fact, this is the first red week I've had for quite some time, which is probably why it's feeling a little bit sore. And what doesn't help is the fact that I made some really stupid mistakes this week that pretty much enabled this to be a red week. I'm going to talk about those in just a moment. As always, all of the software I'm going to be using in this video will be linked in the description below. So if you want to find out any more information on the charting or on the prop firm, check it out in the link below. There's also a link there to a free trading plan. So if you've not got a copy of that, highly recommend downloading it. It just helps you to structure and organize your own approach to trading. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's jump onto the screens. So I've just opened my broker here on MetaTrader 5. This is the account I have with the 5%ers, and I'm still in the challenge. So I'm currently enrolled in the hyper growth program. I'll talk more about it later. But as you can see, the account balance, it is in profit. I started with $20,000, but last week I managed to hit $21,000 profit. This week, unfortunately, has been a red week. So let's just have a look at the trades I've taken this week. From the 20th of May, the Monday, up until today, and I am down around about 3.5R on my account, which as you can see is just around about minus $200. So I'm down about 8% on my account this week. Usually in these videos, I like to break down my trades step by step on the charts with you so I can share my process, strategies and insights. But I think it'd be more helpful for you guys if you can have a look at each individual trade I've taken. So you can see here, I've got my folder for May, and these are the trades I've taken this week. So there are 4 different images, the 4 different days I've traded. Now, the ironic thing here is, before I delve into the charts, let's look at one of the crucial things that can be overlooked when day trading Forex, and that is the news. This week has been a pretty big week for news for pound dollar. Now, my usual routine at the start of the week, before I do anything on the charts, before I take any trades whatsoever, is I look at the economic calendar for upcoming events and news releases due out that week, because they can really frame your week and it can give you an insight into what kind of week you're going to expect. And when I did this last weekend, this is what I saw for pound dollar. So as you can see, Monday there wasn't really much going on. Tuesday is more people speaking, which can be choppy in itself because you don't really know what they're going to say. Wednesday, however, was when it really kicked off with CPI for the pound. So the CPI, Consumer Price Index, is pretty big news. It can make some pretty volatile moves on the charts. However, later on the Wednesday evening GMT was also the FOMC meeting minutes, and FOMC is another big news event for the dollar. Moving on into Thursday, and this is quite interesting, was the flash manufacturing PMI. Now this actually was released, I've got this filtered on pound dollar, but it was also being released throughout the morning for the euro as well, which can impact the pound. And historical price data shows that that can be pretty big volatile moves again. The same was for the US dollar going on to the afternoon, and then on the Friday today, as I'm recording this, was another major news event for the pound in the morning, retail sales, followed up by later today another US major news release at 3 o'clock. So the very fact that we had such big news release being due out on the pound, so major news on the dollar, but also the fact that for me trading in the UK, the major dollar news events were coming out quite late. I usually trade the New York session, which starts at 1:30 in the afternoon, but the dollar news releases were coming out at 3 o'clock, which meant for me waiting until 3 to see how that news went before I took a trade. I knew from this alone that it was going to be a choppy week and that it was going to be potentially volatile, and that this is not a week best suited to my day trading strategy. So my first thoughts were, I should probably take it easy this week. It might even be a no trades week. And now here, sitting on the Friday, looking back, I really wish I listened to that initial advice. I wish I followed through on that thought. Do you ever do that with trading? You know what your bias should be, or you know what your game plan should be, but when it comes to it, when you sit in front of the charts, you can't help yourself. You want to get stuck in and you take a trade against your better judgment. That's what I've done this week. And it's an important element of trading psychology, something to take into consideration. It's how your psyche can really affect your trading performance. It can be hard to make a decision and stick to it when you then get emotionally involved. Also, I find that how you are in everyday life really impacts you as well. So this week's been a challenge for me in my personal life with my children, especially because it's made me really tired, and making good decisions from a tired place is very difficult. So going back to the charts, would you like to see the trades that I've taken this week? They're not pretty. Let's have a look. So on the Monday, because there was not any news due out on the Monday, I tried to push it thinking that it would be a more technical based trade. And I thought I'd be able to hit my weekly target that day before all the news choppiness and unpredictability kicked in. So in effect, on the Monday, I was trying to force a trade. Tip number 1, you cannot force the market. The market will not do what you want it to do. It will do what it wants to do. And this is a reflection of that in action on the Monday. So my first trade here was a long. I actually had 2 positions open. And as you can see, price kind of went down here. As we push back up to where I was then at my break even, my entry on this trade, I actually trailed a tight stop here, which then got stopped out just to try to mitigate the risk. Now, if I'd have left that, you can't really see the next candlesticks, but it eventually would have come down and stopped me out anyway. So that is probably an example of good risk management in that respect, is that I cut the loser short. Now the trade itself, it did follow my strategy. It wasn't that I went against my strategy, but it was just the fact that it was Monday and I knew that it was a choppy week ahead. It wasn't really the week to then push it, and certainly not getting with 2 positions. So it wasn't the best start against my overall plan for the week. Trade number 2, after the first trade ended, I did the classic thing of switching from long bias to short bias. As you can see, I went short here with 2 positions once again. Now it did sort of trend down a little bit here, and in my notes you can see that at this point I probably should have gone to break even, taking into consideration it was a choppy day, but my busy lifestyle meant that I wasn't on the chart actively managing this trade, and so I missed this entire move where it came up and then eventually stopped me out. So that was Monday, and at this point it was a minus 3R day for me. Moving on into Tuesday, this is where things kick up a little bit. So Tuesday morning I started the day and I was down 3 trades in the morning. Not something I'm used to because I don't usually go against my weekly bias, and Tuesday morning I was tired, not a good place to start, and I was feeling frustrated, and that revenge trading emotion was there. I knew it was there. But I can help myself, and so I ended up taking an impulsive trade that was not a quality. Tip number 2, you've got to be looking for A-quality trades. In my opinion, it's about sniper entries. It's not about taking all the trades, it's about taking the best trades. And this, unfortunately, was not the best trade. I went short here during the New York session because this start of the New York session was this point here, and we started to swing lower. We had this huge momentum candlestick down, and I was looking for a retest of this area here, which we sort of got. There was a general plan to this trade. It wasn't just a random trade, but it didn't work out. And once again, the fact that we had such a choppy week from news perspective meant that I should not have been pushing it. In fact, if we look on the charts, just to put it into perspective, So I've zoomed out here so you can see each of the days, and as you can see, Monday and Tuesday were both very, very sideways. We were basically ranging this entire way up until Wednesday. Ranging, consolidating markets, they don't move, and day traders need a moving market to capitalize on. You can't just day trade a sideways market, it's not doing anything. And that's what I pushed on Monday and Tuesday, which was just not a good idea. So that is another tip for you guys, is to avoid sideways ranging choppy markets. Wednesday came, and with Wednesday we had some volume finally with the pound, with the CPI news release, and I managed to capitalize on that. But it wasn't without a few mistakes still in the process. It could have been a much better, much neater trade. And here you can see that I had 2 positions for a long open. Now, the truth of this trade, and that's what I always aim to share with you on this channel, is the truth, a transparent approach to trading. And the truth is that from the technicals, I actually got into this trade before the news release, which is against my strategy, and it is very risky. But I did it because I kind of trusted the technicals that it was going up, and I wanted to be in for the push up, which we did get here, which meant that it hit my first target. So I did have a win from this trade. I made 1.5R on the trade. Now, unfortunately, the second trade, I had a very large target set using daily levels, and although we came close, it didn't hit my target. And the very sore truth of the second trade is that, once again, I was tied up with my personal commitments, that I wasn't able to manage this trade actively, which meant that I didn't have a profit stop in place. Ordinarily, when price moves in my favor like this, I follow it up with profit stops so that I trail and manage to get profit, but I didn't on this trade, which is really frustrating because it came straight back down to my break-even stop. So Wednesday evening, yes, I'd had a win and that was great, but I could have made more. I could have had an extra 3R, which would have put me back up on the week, and I missed it. It came to break even. So I was still frustrated and not handling that emotion correctly, which meant Thursday morning opened, and I've still got this mindset of, I must trade, I must get that money back, I must win it back. Hey, if you guys experienced that, let me know in the comments below. I thought I was over that because I've been trading for a long time now, and I've gone through pretty much everything you can, emotionally speaking, with trading. But it is a process. You don't just go from A to B. You don't just go from beginner to experienced trader overnight. It is a constant journey, a constant process, a constant transformation. And I think that it's just an ongoing process. You just don't escape. You have to just keep practicing these techniques and accept that some days you get setbacks. And Thursday came along, I had another trade here, and this was a very poor quality trade because we had the news release in the afternoon for the dollar. It brought some momentum to the downside, and initially I was short biased. I had this rectangle drawn here, and I was looking for price to return to this area to get in for a short. But as we dropped into this fib level intraday, and we started to make a couple of bounces, I tried to scalp a bounce up, and that is risky because my overall bias was down, and the risk didn't pay off in the end because it stopped me out. On a side note, something that I have been considering lately, and that does depend on whether I get the time because my boys are pretty demanding at the moment, is doing some live videos. I would really love to be able to connect with you guys and share some live videos, maybe on a Sunday evening. Maybe we can go over some charts together and I can share my process for doing my weekly watch list. But I've never done a live before and I don't really know what to expect. So I'd just love to know if it's something you're interested in. It'd be nice to know if I'm going to do it, if you're going to join me. So let me know in the comments below and I can try to arrange something if I get enough people who want to join me. For those of you who like to know how my prop trading accounts go with the 5%ers, I'll just show you a quick insight on the dashboard. Last week, I was up 50% towards that target. I was doing really well. This week, unfortunately, I've taken a step back, which you can see here in my equity curve, a little dip down here, and we've gone back down to 43%. So I'm still very much heading towards that target, but it's just the pullback that we always experience as traders, the losers. You can't avoid them. But I'm going to spend some time away from the charts this weekend. In fact, I think I'm going away with the family this weekend on a last minute spontaneous trip to the seaside, which is just what I think I need, some fresh sea air to wash away this red week and come back feeling more refreshed next week. Once again, it's why I love this trading account with the 5%ers, because I have an unlimited amount of time to pass the challenge. It's just perfect for me. It's the best account that I could take, in my opinion, from a prop firm, because it really removes any stress having a deadline. In my opinion, you just cannot push yourself in this way when you are trading. If you're trading to a deadline, it opens the doorway to so many different types of trading psychology and emotional responses, like revenge trading, like FOMO, like the fear of losing. And although I've had a little bit of that this week because I've been tired and had my own reasons, on the most part, this account really helps me with my trading performance, because it means that I can take some time out and I know the account is still going to be there. It's not expiring, it's not going anywhere. And so if it's something you're thinking about doing for yourself, if you feel ready to have a go at the prop firm, then I definitely recommend the Hypergrowth program with the 5%ers, because it's a more relaxed approach to trading with a prop firm, but it still comes with all of the rewards and all of the benefits of having a larger account long term. If you want some more information, check out the link in the description below. Meanwhile, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, a little bit different. If you have, let me know in the comments below, and please don't forget to hit that like button. Also, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!